Growing a business is hard, and these founders crack the code by hiring smarter, not harder. Just watch this.
How was your experience hiring with Remote Latinos?
It was good. I mean, you guys were really responsive, and you guys were really flexible with trying to understand what we were looking for, and creating the assessments and things like that. So it's been good. It's been smooth.
Is this the first time you hire someone remotely, or you already had experience hiring like remotely?
No, this was our first time. Yeah.
Okay. Can you describe probably any specific moment or anything that impressed you?
I guess just kind of the speed at which you guys are willing to take feedback about the candidates and things like that, and implement it into finding more or newer candidates. And I guess kind of the judgment-free listening that you guys provided us with, listening to what we were looking for. I think it was like a little bit of a weird ask for my dad to come in and say, we want, to hire a woman. I do think that seems a little weird, but what I appreciated was that you guys listened and that you provided some candidates that you felt were qualified, that, fit what we were looking for as well. So
I think that I never asked why you considered that a woman was a better fit.
I think from a lot of the things that we've heard in our own sales trainings and things like that, as well as, there's kind of like this unspoken thing about women in sales where there is this element of, or this connotation of being more of a nurturer when you hear a woman's voice, or being more nurtured when you hear a woman's voice than when you hear a man's. There's like an innate sense of trust that is just kind of baseline when you hear a woman's voice. Okay. And that's less threatening and things like that. But in that same vein, women are trying to accomplish the same thing as men when you're in a sales role. When you're working, you're working. So it just makes, I think, women have a little bit more of an edge when they can nail down a sales process and work through that. Again, though, I think it's just a matter of, I don't think it's so gendered personally. I think it's more about just, being able to have the ability to listen to other people and really make the conversation about them. That's what this job is. It's about listening to them, seeing what they want, and making them feel seen and heard. It's not so much about if you're a man or a woman. But I think for my father who thinks more in binaries, it's just easier for him to say, oh, I want a woman on the team.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
How confident are you with Maria now that she's part of your team?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would definitely say I'm at a 7. I think that, in terms of, interpersonal communication, she's great. I have communicated a lot of standards with her, and she has met expectations every single time. Just be, hey, just let me know when you are going to take your lunch, and so that way I can stay on and I'll let you know when I'm taking my lunch. Or, hey, it's, expected that you have your camera on in this meeting. And just, kind of going over the expectations daily. She's been great. I think the only thing is left is really just to get her more confident in the scripts, like I mentioned before, as well as the CRM, because we also just switched over CRM. So it's something I'm trying to build my own confidence in. But seeing her kind of build that confidence and that comfort around it, which just takes time. So, yeah.
I think that you're doing amazing, because from the get-go, I realized that you were this type of woman that sets expectations really good. Because I know you did that as well with me, and that's really good. And for business, that's the most important thing. As long as you're setting the expectations and the expectations are being met and accomplished, that's all we need.
Exactly.
In regards to the communication process and the quality of candidates with Remote Latinos, how would you rate that experience?
I would say it was I'd say it was like an 8 for sure. I think that, you guys were really great with, providing those candidates back to back to back. I think there are a few things that kind of, maybe weren't totally ironed out, but I think that that was just partly due to the fact that you guys were, providing new candidates so quickly to us, and understanding that we had a time frame we wanted to meet in terms of hiring a new candidate as well. Just like one of those things that, like, for example, didn't feel totally ironed out was, I believe one of the candidates, she had, a really bad internet connection.
Okay.
When, I think my father was initially speaking with her and it got brought up, but he had bad internet connection as well, so we weren't sure. And then when I met with her, it was still really bad internet connection. Yeah. So, again, it's just like smaller things like that, but really overall 8 out of 10.
Nice. What other feedback would you like us to improve for future needs?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head here, but really, I mean, I think all in all, it was a good experience. It was just smaller things like that I guess, really can't be avoided. I think, I don't know, again, like what the communication is with those candidates, in terms of, like having those, smaller expectations of, you need to have good internet and a connection. You need to be on a laptop when you're taking this interview. You need to, stuff like that. So I think that might be the only thing is, I don't know what that looks like, your communication with them, but maybe kind of ironing out a little bit more of those expectations.
We appreciate that feedback, Parisa, for sure.
If you like what you heard, let's build a remote team and help you get your time back. Go to remotelatinos.com and click on the description below.